That's actually not bad. Is it? Is it stream? Yes? Okay, good. Okay, great. Any distortion in my voice? I don't think so. Okay, I have to just... Alright, I had to tell him. I had to tell him. It was getting out of hand. Hey, Bunzo, how's it going? Hello, Caveman Road. How's it going? Wait, I need to use... Um... Okay, sorry, I have to deal with... Shouldn't have been dealing with this in public, though. What can you do? All right, board editor. So we're going to be looking at some games, I guess. Hey, Cormac, how's it going? I already said that. That's the third time I said how's it going. I really need to find a different greeting for the next person. Can you guys tell me how to greet the next person that comes in that says hi? Not how's it going. I need to say something different. So today we're going to be looking at some games from the tournament I just returned home from. So that's cool. Yeah. Stressed out, too busy, but healthy, so that's okay. Yeah, healthy is very important. Busy, certain level of busy is important. Stressed out, certain level of that, unfortunately, can actually help rather than hinder. But yeah, I feel you. I hope that the fact that you are here means that there's a little bit of a lull in what you've been feeling. Hey, what's up, Bouncing? Yeah. I scored 15 out of 18. Unfortunately, it came really close to actually me like losing. I was 13 out of 14, and I lost two in a row. And there were two guys like right at my tail, two guys that were just one game behind. They also had similar tiebreaker. So in the last game, I either had to just flat out win. If I flat out won, then I won. If I lost by fewer than 40 points, I would win on the condition that the guy in third place didn't win his game by like over 50 points or something. Actually, I can go and look at... Actually, can I go and look at that? At the standings? I want to see. It was a pretty insane finish. Okay, Jesus Christ. Enhanced scoreboard. Okay, I can actually go look at it. Let's see. If I go to... what else? Oh my God. I'm copying this link from my phone because it's a like standings link that doesn't appear online unless the tournament in is actually being played currently. Oh my God, this is a long fucking link. Uh oh, that should work actually. Okay. Okay. So, sorry, I was 14 out of 15 here. Um 14 out of 50. We'll find out if I was playing worse bouncing. I have no indication that I was necessarily, but that's why I analyze my games. So after 15 rounds, I had a nice fat 2100 again, which is like, I guess the equivalent in chess is 28. Maybe like 2750. Or maybe 27 something. Like the highest rated players are in the 2100s, usually. There's a couple maybe in the 2200s at times. Anyways, I had this nice 2100 rating, and then I was playing. So the format was not what I said it was. I remember we talked about the format bouncing. The format was they split into two groups at the beginning. There were 24 players split into two groups of 12. So there was a group round robin. So you played everybody in the half group that you were in. And then that was the first day. It was 11 games on Saturday, which is an incredibly high amount of Scrabble for North American players. They do that all the time in Nigeria and in Southeast Asia, but Americans are pretty prudish and, you know, take Scrabble seriously. So usually 8 is the max that people play in a day. So yeah, the first day I lost my second game to the way that it was. I snaked. I don't know if you know what snaking is. So I played the lowest rated players in my group. The groups were separated like they had equal average ratings. I played the lowest players to the highest players. So I should be winning the first games, except I almost lost my first game, lost my second game to an 1100, and almost lost my third game, but luckily my opponent played a phony word in a pivotal position. So I was getting like crushed pretty much, even though I went 2-1 against the 11-1200 players. And then I won the rest of my game. So it wasn't looking very good in the beginning. Hey Churro, and hello Infinity Words. Um but yeah, I made it to 14-1, so I went on a 13 game winning streak. And then I was playing this guy because the rest of the format was day 2 was 7 games, and 4 of those games were like the groups were then separated again into like A and B, who was doing better and who was doing worse. And then you were playing the people in that group that you hadn't played yet. Which I don't even know if that's even always going to be the case. But there's the weirdest fucking pairings of all time. So I played people in the top group that I hadn't played yet for 4 games, which should be possible, I guess. And then the last 3 games were, I guess, I don't know what you call it, Prince of the Hill, Princess of the Hill, then Queen of the Hill, then King of the Hill. So in the penultimate round, I played the guy in 4th place because I was in 1st. The penultimate round, I played the guy in 3rd place because I was in 1st. And the ultimate round, I played King of the Hill, the guy in 2nd. So I thought I was getting really lucky to be playing Wally. Although Wally and Mike are like, I guess, similarly good, but Mike was having a hell of an event. And he was on a huge roll. Thank you so much for the raid, Heidi. Huge shout out to Heron to Birds. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome, Raiders. I was just talking about how this tournament I went to went. So I was getting a break playing Wally, I thought. But then he completely demolished me. And I'll show that game. That was actually, I think, the coolest game of the whole event was the round 16 loss to Wally. And then I played Joey, who I was hoping would have switched to second place so that I could play Mike. But he won his game. So I played Joey. Joey beat me. And then, luckily for me, I didn't have to play Joey a third time because, I mean, even though Mike was having a great tournament, Joey's a stronger player, and my record against him is not very good, despite having beaten him for the championship last summer. And then, so luckily for me, look what happened in the penultimate round. Mike won by 13 to surpass Joey by 9 points in the tiebreaker, which is the point differential. After Joey beat me by 114. So very clutch on Mike's part to then have to play me for the finals. And so he needed to win by 40 so that we would have the exact same record. But like I said, if Joey had won by 50 or more, which is actually basically probably more than 50% of the time him playing Wally, he's going to win by more than 50 points just based on the matchup. He would just have won the tournament if I lost. So I figured I probably had to win, which is what I did. And I won by 99 points, and I won the tournament. So that's the story. Okay, see you, Heidi. Thanks so much for the raid. King of the Hill, Scrabble would be pretty boring. First player would win a lot. Yeah. Yeah, it's always 50-50 if it's an equal tournament. It always evens out. Well, so then look what happened. He won by 51, which meant that had I won by 40 or 41, or had I lost by 40 or 41 points, he would have won the tournament. Had I lost by more than that, Mike would have won the tournament. And had I lost by less than that, I would have won the tournament. So it was an insane finish. No, that'll be the second game I look at, Caveman Road, if you're still here, once I get to it. So it was a really crazy finish. Joey won by like exactly what he needed to win by to win the tournament, like the exact minimum. Like he needed a minimum to win by that amount. And yeah, I just happened to win that last game. So that's what happened. So did I profit? Infinity Words asked. Yes. I guess let's show everyone the money. I haven't counted it. And you know, the best part about the prize is that it's paid out in cash. And I love that. And obviously, if there's more than, like, if it's like a big enough prize, it's not going to be paid out in cash. So it's sort of like not in my interest to love that. Like, because there should be bigger prizes in Scrabble, which there isn't. But I'm very happy that it's paid out in cash because that's the best way for me to not like lose money on the exchange rate or having to take out money of my in my American bank account, whatever, stuff like that. And I like using cash. When I travel to US, I use cash only, as much as I can, because cash is king, you know. So this money is going to, I guess, fund some amount of the summer's tournaments starting in July. I hope to be able to make the Albany July 4th tournament coming up on July 4th. And then there are the 2 championships. I'm definitely going to the first one. And I still haven't quite managed to book my flights from the first one to the second one and back. So that's still up in the air a little bit. I did tell a couple of people that I was booking my flights, but I saw and they weren't actually as good as I thought. But it looks like I should be able to, based on, and that's always how it's been. Like, I win tournaments, I'm able to go to more tournaments. That's how I've always done it, because like otherwise I wouldn't have enough money to. That's always how I budgeted things. So should help me to play in more events. And I think yeah, the profit was $400 in the end. So that's pretty good. It's almost twice as much as it costs to go there. For the IRS, yeah. Hey Justin. So I just finished this tournament, um, Swillens, and this tournament is, oops, not this one. This is the 40th year that they've run this tournament. It hasn't been consecutive because of COVID and whatever. Um, but yeah, it's the longest running tournament outside of the national event. And it's a very special tournament. It's held um, at this guy, where is he? Mike Barron and Pamina. They're a couple, um, and they live in this gorgeous ranch in Corrales, New Mexico, outside of Albuquerque. Um, I have pictures. I guess um, can show pictures from my phone. I should have posted more. I was posting on Instagram a lot after every game. But like just let me see if I can like show you this place. Oh yeah, I need to autofocus this shit. Or manual focus. 1 second. You can't really see that well, but this is kind of what it looks like. It's just beautiful. They're on top of a hill overlooking the Sandia Mountains. It's just really, really, really nice. I guess I should also do this. I hate that my camera doesn't autofocus anymore. In any case, yeah, that brings me, oops. That brings me to 2090. Still not player of the year. Jackson's got me by 3 points, 3 rating points. That's the overall performance in this year's tournaments. But I'm back to the top of the North American list in the North American lexicon. Let me check on YouTube. Hello, YouTube. Sorry. Justin, did you go from YouTube because I just like forgot YouTube existed? Hello, Miski. Hey, thank you, Will, for the #1 bits, I imagine. Much appreciated. Let's do the Will thing. I have the Will thing. Come on, let's see if it works.
Mr. Anderson, welcome back. We missed you. You like what I've done with the place?
It's over, motherfucker.
I need to fix the format of it on this scene, but whatever. Now, this is not a new peak for me. So my peak was when I won the national championship. 21, or I guess it was a bit later when I gained some fake rating points in my own one-day events. 21-26, my peak rating. That was astounding and also can. Don't crash, Infinity Words. That's not the first time you've seen that. That's not the first. That can't be the first time you've seen that Infinity Words. You should not crash on account of me. But But yeah, the next tournament I'm hoping to go to is this one, Albany, July 4th, 2024. And look who's there. Look who's the face, or one of the two or three faces. Actually, this is a guy I stayed with in Albuquerque, John Karras. What a legend. Me and Jackson, faces of the Albany July 4th tournament. This is last year at World Cup. Do I want to ride back to Montreal? Yes. Abso-fucking-lutely I do. Okay. Deal. Let's do it. Let's go. Do you need somewhere to stay? We can talk off stream. I have free lodgement to offer you if you come here. Like, actually a room, like not in my apartment. While I was gone, by the way, on Friday, yeah, Wellington. Wellington might be coming. While I was gone on Friday, none other than Adam Logan was staying in my apartment here, on his way to the Toronto area. So, you know, I can host people, but not really comfortably if I'm still here. Free lodgement, yeah, it's so French of me. Yeah, so if the Nigerians and the Ugandans and is that Senegal? What is SLE? No, Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone. Wow. So if these guys get their visas, which who the hell knows, it's unlikely usually, which is really shitty. And it's like 1 month to go. This is going to be a heck of a field. Like Wellington just won a huge African tournament, 17-1. He went 17-1 against champions, just like some of the best players in the African continent. So yeah, if Wellington comes, that's gonna be awesome. I miss that guy. He's a legend. Yeah, the problem with this rating, it's not an accurate rating bouncing. The problem is it's an American rating, so it would be as if Magnus played in like 3 USCF tournaments and just like had a, I don't know, 3,000 performance in all of them basically. And then his rating would be provisionally 3,000, even though that's not his actual strength. So that's basically why you see Dennis is not 21-15 either. I doubt that Sikak or Emmanuel are that strong either. They're all very, very strong. Wellington the strongest, but not that strong. Like Bright is probably 1700. I don't actually know. Yeah, but it'd be really cool if they come anyways. Has a conditional ESCF. Oh, he was actually through that. So you get what I'm saying. Like, if we look at the top ratings list, it's just complete insanity. Like, Harshawn and Wellington, like, Adam Logan is as good as Wellington, probably. Better than Harshawn. David's better than Harshawn. David's better than Wellington. Will is better than Harshawn, and at least is probably as good as Wellington. So yeah, I got these random, like Cameron Farlow is probably like 1900. So these ratings are stupid, but it's because of a very similar thing that like there is in chess. There's more than one rating system, which is one of the stupidest things on earth. Anyways, all that being said, this is the next tournament I'm planning on going to, the Albany, New York tournament, which I usually go to every year. On July 4th, and it's not far from Montreal. Then after that, it's the Scrabble Players Championship, which I'm signed up for in signed up for in CSW. And yeah, we'll see what happens. Okay, give me 1 second, everybody. Getting messaged. Shouldn't be publicly displaying all of these messages, so let's look at this. Okay, that's all that was. All right, so let's jump into the games, shall we? Or let's look at chat. If Welly's really going, I might be best of sevening him on stream. That'd be awesome. Like as a side event, Will. Yeah. Yeah, Fuse is cooperate, of course. Wait, Justin, you were gonna sign up? What do you mean? First of all, like, would it be your first tournament, Justin? And did you change your... Wait, did you change your username? No, you didn't change your username. No, I don't recognize your username. It does make sense, I guess, bouncing. But what doesn't make sense is there being two Lexica, so the point is moot. Magus was 3001 USCF. That's amazing. But yeah, it's not just that. It's the different organizations. It's also it's complete madness. Like, you guys have it easy. So South Bend, Indiana is the Scrabble Players Championship, the one that I won last year, and after that is the Word Cup, which is back in Albuquerque. So originally I was like, well, if I'm already going to Albuquerque for the tournament I just played in, the Swillens tournament, like, should I really go back? And the answer is yes, of course I should go back, but it's just a bit complicated. Do I have an idea in my head from watching people play of who my top 10 are? I mean, I could probably figure that out. I did a bunch of playing cards last year for the candidates for like the top players in the Scrabble Players Championship, and that was fun. I might do it again this year. But I mean, top 10 doesn't really matter as much as top 1, which was Nigel, of course. That's cool, Caven Road. I don't bet. There are people that do that. Actually, Bouncing, if you want to... Oh, should I get Bouncing to talk to Joey Kravchuk about like what he does for every year? Just like odds giving and like betting. We do sports betting for like, there's a side, like, I guess you call it a rotisserie or something for the Nationals every year. And yeah, Joey could fill you in very well in what he thinks, if you're interested. But I am not interested in that at all. Everyone's like coming up to me, he's like, "Oh, like these are the odds that Joey." I'm like, I really don't care. Like, sure, people do. So let's start the analysis. Why don't we? If I miss any chats. Also, Scrabble bookie, yeah, lucrative. Imagine, yeah, it could potentially happen. How is everyone doing? That's what I meant to ask. And have I offended anyone recently? Have I said something that might have bothered you at all. And I'm not just like, there's nothing prompting me to say this. I just feel like asking. But yeah, Justin, you should definitely come to the Albany tournament. That's just the top division you're looking at. There's going to be multiple divisions. All of your troll comments. Which ones? Have you guys seen is Albuquerque the highest scoring US city? Starting to suspect Josh's Scrabble Adventures are actually a money laundering front. Have you guys seen yeah, but no, it's gonna be Justin, they're gonna make more than one. There's too many people in the one division. It's not an open tournament. It's not an open tournament. Don't take that for what it is. Have you guys seen the video? CL actually specifically, have you seen what's the most rare chess move video that's going viral on YouTube right now? Oh, she told me she had AA. I think this is what she told me she had. Let's just put that in there. Really, it was a great video. It was a really great video. I watched the whole thing. Yeah, you should. It's really fun, and it's also it puts your speed run to shame. So for those unaware, CL became more popular, pretty popular on Twitch, partially because he was doing a all moves speed run, but not all moves. It was like a very abridged version of all the chess moves. And it was pretty cool. Anyways, so did I make a mistake on my first move of the tournament? Probably. This was an annoying position. Oh, she played here. So I had duplicate R's, duplicate N's. I had an L and an A, which are already duplicated on the board. So this isn't a great rack. Yeah, if I want to score points, I could do something like plan for 16, but the highest scoring play I saw was planner, flat, is what that means. Co-planner is also a word. And this looked like a good play for 16 points. And instead of playing that, I got a little bit cagey about it and played Larn. And the reason I played Larn is my opponent might not know the T-hook on Larn or see it. I am setting up P for Alp potentially. PNR seemed to have a better upside than NR did. And I did not feel like it was necessary to potentially open up like a big spot for Jane or just an overlapping spot to begin with that uses a double word score. And so I decided against this play, and I should have played it, I think, but I didn't. Yeah, this R, I mean, chances are it's not going to be of any use to Jane. And I probably... it's basically the exact type of thing that I do that I hate doing, but that is really like good when it works. But if I'm playing a lower rated player, I really should just be playing planner and just dealing with the consequences. Because the board will probably be a bit more open. Although the top left is in trouble after planner. Anyways, I gave it a lot of thought and played Larn. I don't really know. I probably should have taken the points. She played Fa for 12, which, look, this is a sort of scenario that is good, that I'm happy about getting, because if I play planner and she plays the same letter, she's getting so much more for it. She's getting 7 more points, not leaving me with as much. So, like, that's sort of why defense works, but it also sometimes doesn't work. Oh, thank you, Muffin Tentacle. Welcome. And thank you, Luckbox Lind. But yeah, I regretted not playing Planner, even based on what happened. So here I had Parting. Oh, I didn't see Prating fit here. Okay, so I made a mistake on my second move of the tournament, for sure. I saw Prating, but for some reason just didn't see that it fit with Lart. So maybe I didn't know the T-hook on Lart. So I ended up playing Parting and Gala, which is just so much worse than either spot of Prating. I did see Prating. Maybe I just like doubted it. It's possible I doubted Prating. Yeah, it's definitely possible. Oof. Okay, so I played Parting 75, which at least leads to an open board, I guess. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, this is a mistake. And she played Orca. Oops. So you can already tell, like, this should be going my way. My opponent's making short plays that aren't really great in any way. And yeah, should be good for me. And remember, I'm playing someone who's like 1,000 points lower rated than me. So, yeah. So in this position, I decided to play Ixia. I did not see this play, which is pretty good in hindsight. Yeah, I didn't see this at all. I played Ixia, could have played Axis, and to be honest, it's probably a good idea to play Axis because she probably has an S. I mean, it's really hard to make sort of like inferences on lower rated players. But she has an S already on like on average, even if there's no implication that she has an S with any of her plays, she already has one. A lot of the time this is a big easy scoring spot for her, which if I take it away, she might just have a lot more difficulty scoring anything, making a good play. So yeah, this might also be a mistake. I did sort of like the play though. It felt good to make. And here Jane played cheese. So that's a good result for me and gave me a spot for a bingo. Oh, thank you for following, Justin. Yeah, open board sounds good against weaker player. I agree. So this isn't like an open board, but it's not a closed board. There are bingo spots. It's bingo spot here, bingo spot all the way on this line, kind of a bingo spot here. So yeah, things are pretty good in terms of like if I'm able to draw into decent racks, I should just always be winning. But here I played inducers, and okay, you never really want to open a triple, especially with an S. And especially when you're going ahead by triple territory points. But it's my only bingo, you have to do it. And then she came down with this really nice play of stylizes for 83. A really, really good find for an 1100 player with a Y, 3 S's, and a blank. However, she does have a triple in this position. Can you guys find it? No, I mean stylizes, yeah. Stylizes and columns only. But she does have a triple. Can you guys find it? She told me about it later. I didn't even look for it when she played. It's a very difficult spot. No, I knew Stylizes was good because there's a pair, Sisterly and Stylizer, which I'm very familiar with. So it even takes an R. So her triple is Essayist for 140. She might have something else. No, that's it. So that would have put her right back in the game if she had found that. Just like, but Stylize is a very good find. And I draw a very good rack here. I didn't see Zippo. I played Cozied, which might be better than Zippo. Yeah, there are lots of E's left here. So I probably don't want to keep two of them. So Cozied, luckily, is probably a better play than Zippo. Although it does give back easy ways to score, like was for 30, but that's okay. Here at this rack. I mean, she found Stylizes. She could have found Essayist. Honestly, WTF. People surprise you. So there's a really nice play here. Guess I'll let you guys look for it for a little bit. Okay, WTF. I'm glad that you're home, by the way. Show you proof. It's definitely happened. So the play I made was not prime or prima, but primage for 45. So nice 5-way overlap there. And it also does a nice thing by blocking this end column for bingos. All right, so here she played Mitt for 13, missing, I guess, Mitt for 16. Yeah. And here, oh, damn. All right, I missed this play. I was looking at this really sneaky spot at many points during the game. Putting the N here and the O here. I did not see Burton, which definitely has to be better than Bourne. Now this takes an E hook and scores 4 fewer points, while not really doing much else. Oh, ungained, yeah, Jesus. So far it looks like I'm playing worse in the beginning of the tournament than the end, but we'll see. So I play Bourne. She plays Emote. She went into Emote only mode. And I played Vower. Could also have played Woven. Wasn't really sure. Usually IN is better than IR. And this is easier to underlap. Both of the words take an S. The A hook on Vower isn't really important. But who knows? She played like for 28. I had this rack. Here's Johnny. How would you pronounce this spelling of Johnny? Not this one. Unfortunately, this isn't how you spell it. Should I have tried it? I actually maybe we could have gotten away with this. 2 H's instead of 2 N's. I did not consider trying that. Probably wouldn't have gotten away with it. I played Joke. She played Juba, which was a good play. Just like opened a big spot. I couldn't really do that much about it. And I started to get a little bit like worried that I wasn't going to be able to stop her from bingoing on this board. But yeah, I just probably just have to play this anyway. So I play Oho. She plays Vive. And now there's two in the bag. I have this rack. And yeah, this is some scary stuff. Well, you'll see an example of where I probably should have done that actually, WTF, in the next game. So there are just bingos through this E, through this V, and particularly on the B column, ending in an E or a D or a T, I guess. And obviously the bingos on the B column are easier to find, but with enough time, which Jane did have, she could probably find an 8-letter word. So I basically decided, I mean, I'm not going to try and block and empty the bag. I could play something like Hid for 30 and block the B column and empty the bag and hope she doesn't have or doesn't find anything on the 14 or 15 row. But I figured it was probably better for me to just play off my H for 10 and maybe hope she plays an 8 rather than a 7, which is probably not a very good hope, and that I could draw into denying. Potentially a better idea was to play off my D with emoted and go for an O for honeying, even though there's only one O left. Because it's more likely that she's going to play on the B column. But I decided to just play off one tile. And she bingoed with deflect. Where is it? It's a nice deflection tactic. And unfortunately, I drew the O. So I regretted not playing off the D and getting honeying. Here I played Goy, which is one worse than Dopey. It's a strange miss. Okay. Maybe part of me was hoping that she would challenge. Goy, I guess I have to tell you, was removed from the North American lexicon in 2020 and then put back in 2023 into the NWL lexicon. So it was judged as probably actually not really offensive. But yeah, I am not a goy. A goy is a non-Jewish person. Is it a slur? I'll let you guys figure it out. Yeah, well, it was argued that it was endearing. Hey, Nightfool. But yeah, maybe part of me was hoping that she wouldn't know that they re-added it, but it's still 1 point worse. And she finds her best play of Rod. Yeah. All right. And that was the game. So I only won 435 to 353. Sorry, 363. Oh, Gmote. That's true, Dr. Cliche. A lot of them are potentially used like that. Yeah, I never saw the G hook. Um, wow. Yeah, maybe I should have done that. Or you know what I could have done? I could play DE and draw into Hoydening with the O draw. Hoydening. Anyways, so that's game one. And we can take a look at the analysis. Do a little bit of simulation, I guess. Let's fix this. Right. Swillens. Yeah, I know. You guys want to see me lose. You will. Don't be impatient. All right, so I think the sim is not going to like my play of Larn over planar. Um, yeah, 5-point mistake. This one's probably even more. Um, okay, 4 points. But yeah, whatever. This one was interesting. Crank it up to 4-ply here. So wait, Justin, who do you play Scrabble or you just like got into it recently? What's your story? Saying you want to come to Albany for your first tournament? Or is it not your first tournament? Got back into it. Gotcha. You're a school Scrabble player. Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah. The Axis looks a bit better. And yeah, I'm pretty sure Cozy is better than Zippo. Yeah, the valuation. Whatever. This is fine. Burton was quite a mistake. So yeah, not playing great. Not playing great. Vower and Woven. Oh, Wyvern is actually probably the best play. So lots of E's left, and there's a blank unseen. Scores 2 more points. Did not see Wyvern. Yeah, I did think that thought WTF when I played it. Um, Joke, probably the only play here. There might be a cool play here that I didn't think of. And yeah, I don't really know what Quackle is going to think about this. Okay, no, never mind. Fuck it. All right. Um, Great. So that's game one. Good to go on that. Let's go back. That was round one. So yeah, like Jane played really well. Played way above her rating. Gave me a hard time. So, round two. And now you guys are going to see how it's done. How does one beat someone rated 1,000 points higher than them? I've already looked at this game. So, let's go here. Great. So I need to edit it actually. Edit. You guys got a flash there. Spoilers. I just want to verify there's ads running. I want to verify one thing on the game. If I got it all right. Because I looked at this I looked at this game from Scrabble Cam. My opponent D or R? Huh? Oh, thank you,
1D.
John.
P U S
I love this
H
clip.
17.
Wait, what? What? How is that 17? Huh? Am I tripping? Yeah, I did fuck it up.
1D. P U S H 17.
Huh? What? What is happening? Shout yourself out, John. I have to fix this game.
I just showed up like,
That's not
I
you.
was gonna live stream, but then I went out. I was gonna go home and live stream, but then I went out.
Wait, that's not right.
Dun, 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 dun. I was gonna go home and live stream, but all my equipment is still in my suitcase. And I left my phone at the restaurant, so then I went out. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. I was barely gonna live stream, but then I went out. I was just about to not live stream.
That's not right.
I went out.
Wrong chord.
It's getting pretty late, and you already know why. Because I went out, because I went out, because I went out.
That was very fun. No, it goes oh, I need to fix this. Why? Can you guys stop? One shout out per person. One shout out per person. And one timeout for WTF.
Guys, get ready to claim a moment because this has been kind of a fun, a rare chance for us to do one of these daytime streams with the family. I'm planning to keep the stream up and running, and I'll probably throw on either some music videos or words on stream or Jackbox games. So I'm gonna let you guys
Cool.
vote for what you prefer. We probably need more participants for Jackpot, so it might be easier to just say words on stream.
Cool story, bro. All right. I fixed the game. Now let's get back to our normal schedule. Sorry, Sarah. People just really like your stream, I guess. I'm gonna shout you out more than once. I totaled your account. Here, I'll mod it again. You're modded again. I'll I'll total it again. If you keep being annoying. All right. So game 2 of Swillens. Playing, yes, a Democratic senator, state senator in Maryland. But we were in New Mexico. Very good. Nice shout out to yourself. Okay, so I've already gone through this game, but I messed it up because I messed up the move order. But I used Scrabble Cam, which is really fun. Took a picture of the board, just like annotated the game from that picture, transferred onto really cool stuff. Anyways, I opened the game with Oxo. I spent about 40 seconds here trying to figure out the best placement. Should I play it on top or on bottom?
Still a little bit blurry.
Hey, ancient cosmographer. Okay, you're actually here, so you can clip shout you out.
Making eye contact with the camera.
Speaking of blurry, again, like my camera is failing. My camera isn't autofocusing anymore. Yeah, Loxodrome is why I chose this one. But yeah, welcome in to Ancient Cosmographer and Choco. Hello. So, I play Oxo, which is, okay. Already, like, this is not a move you want to make. You do not want to make a short X play to start a game off against a lower rated player, because the boards that develop from those positions tend to be very bad for just like outplaying opponents, because you just get overlaps, and if you don't have great racks, there's not much you can do. The board isn't open, there aren't many spots you can unload your tiles, and there's always a risk that your opponent's just gonna get there before you, because your options are limited. So it's already not a good sign. So yeah, every time I've lost to a 1200 player, it has been an opening like this. I'll show you guys. Let me remember this. This is getting out of hand. John has been purged. You guys, like, makes me feel like you guys don't want to watch what I'm providing you guys with. Makes me kind of sad when you do that. So please stop. Please. Much appreciated. What can you do when you live in a shoe? All right. Oh, is Austin live? Oh, it's Tuesday. Shit. Okay, bye. I should raid Austin. Nobody wants to watch this stuff, clearly. Okay, what am I looking for? Saratoga Springs. Who did I lose to? Yes, I lost to 1,400 players in a row in this tournament. And why? Because I opened with Vac. I'm just gonna show the opening play. I lost this game because I opened with Vac. Why did I lose to William Pizer? I opened with New. I'm telling you guys, this is the recipe for losing to lower rated players. And what did I open it with against Judy? Okay, I just lost fair and square. I opened with Oxeye, but there was an X. And she overlapped. Like it's literally what I'm saying. And I didn't even remember, but I just know. I have trauma about this. Oxeye is fine. But she overlapped all this way and I drew AAPTPW. So this is why I lost. And I played Voss. I mean, I'm making the best plays, but they're not the winningest plays. They're the best plays, but not the winningest plays. It just never play short or never play an X play. I mean, you're just gonna lose a lot. Look, I played Blend, which takes an E-hook, sure. A, she might not know it. B, it's the best play. Remints 95. This is how you lose games. And I fought hard, man. I fought really hard. And she got hunters. Oh, did I go for a triple? Probably. Oh, I guess not. Anyways, that's how you lose. You open with KG plays. Oops. Bastinados, yeah. So, I open with Oxo, but what else am I going to do? I probably should have done something else. I really probably should have done something else. Exchanged or played Arrow. Probably exchange. Yeah, it's ES only. So here, the best play is potentially Boa for 16. But again, this is making a worse play because of the sort of position you'll get some of the time. So the play that sims close to the best here is Boa, because it leaves AELR, and I'll bingo a decent amount. Infinity, can you take your WTF? You're home, right? Please take your bot off. Please take your bot off. But wait, why is it so slow? No, I think it's working fine. Huh. So yeah, I didn't play Boa, I played Blay. And this might have just been a flat out mistake. But I felt like it was good to score. I don't know, this makes the position potentially harder for her to play as well, but it has some drawbacks as well. So, I don't know, maybe I should have played Boa for a lot less. Does she know whether or not Blay takes an S? I'm certainly going to play Blaze, but she plays Blaze. Do I challenge that off? Probably. So I play Blay. And she asked me about this position after the game. She said she was considering either playing Scenery for 30 or Cry for 17. So, this is a good thought process she had. Cry setting up her 2 S's. Really nice play. or scenery, just keeping the S and scoring instead. I like both. But yeah, she had a couple of potentially better options. She could have played Sink for 31, which sets up her S as well in a very dangerous spot. Also sets up an H, but leaves ERS, which is really strong. So that or Sin are probably correct. This sets up ES stuff with else. The heck is Cressy? I've never seen that word in my life. Cressy? Wow. Cressy. Have you guys seen that word? What a weird word. That's really, really cool. Okay. Oh, well, it compares, yeah. You would have seen it, of course. Yeah, if it compares, you've seen the 8s. So she plays scenery. And I just thought she was scoring points. I had no idea she's keeping another S. So really strong stuff so far. And I have this rack. And there's really nothing to do here. Still not really in danger. Like, there's still a lot left on this board. There's this lane, there's this lane, potentially this lane, or this lane if I have an S. So there are places on the board to go. But my letters are pretty unworkable. I play Roan. Oh, John. Yeah, we can figure that out. Danny reprogrammed the bot. I'll link you. I'll give you the link. Just remind me. So, here Cheryl makes another nice play of pay in. And retakes the lead. And basically, all I can do here is play Gloam. So that's what I do, keeping UI with 7 eyes to come. And she bingos with Slanted. Worth noting, of course, that the anagram of Slanted is Dentals, which would be a better play, but again, I'm not playing the best player in the world. I'm playing a 1200 player who's already playing out of her mind because of the position that arose from Oxo. It's just so much easier for low-rated players to make good plays on this sort of board. So she plays Slanted, and my rack is terrible, and I'm down 40, and there are 2 blanks out that she could have. So not feeling very comfortable. I could either play Furies for 22, keep IO, or I could play Unifier, keeping the O. Unifier is a lot better of a play on the surface level because it doesn't keep an extra I with so many to come. But Furies will, I guess, potentially leave more parts of the board open, which is potentially what I want. It's a 24-person tournament, and it was an open division. That's how this tournament has always worked. So, I play Unifier. I'm not panicking. She plays Jura. I'm not panicking. Now I can come back. I can equalize the score. I could play something like Bop, 36. Keep HIRT, which is pretty workable. Even potentially setting myself up for next turn. Or I could score a little bit more and play Births. I could also play Broths. That's a little bit worse because the I and the P don't go as well together as the O and the P, and there are too many I's left. And I'm also opening a little bit more of a dangerous spot. And I'm keeping the O for the Joe spot with only 3 left to come. So I choose to play Births. She plays SAU. And starting to look okay because I draw a blank. Uphoving, yeah. That'd be quite the play to make here. And yeah, on every turn when you're playing like someone very low rated at my level, you can consider playing phony words, but my approach tends to just be like trying to play the best I can no matter what, and not like trying too hard to phony people, because it just doesn't feel right. It feels like I should be able to beat them without tricks. And so I tend to just play that way. Playing phonies is immoral. So here I play Poe for 39, keeping VNG, which isn't so great because there are a lot of constants left, but there are also a lot of eyes left. So if I can draw an eye, should be able to bingo. She re-overlaps with doe, a deer, the female deer. And I draw the Q. So this is not a great scenario, but I should be able to bingo a lot next turn after exchanging. So I exchange down to NG blank. Keeping the G is not a good idea, but I did it. And the reason I exchanged keeping the G is, again, I noticed lots of eyes left. There are lots of floaters to play ing words. So it's a specific scenario where ing isn't actually that bad. And the G is a scoring tile. Whereas if I kept a T, there are 3 T's to come. Not the worst thing, but yeah. It seemed like a close call. And if I'm keeping a G, you know that it's probably not wrong. Because why would I do that? Unless I just wanted, like, to troll myself. So I kept NG blank. And she bingos. So it's a tie game, and she bingos with readiest. Now, I have this rack. And this might have been the position where I lost the game. Because in this position, I played Jif for 24. However, Quinn has found that there is a bingo in this position. A very low probability, weird play of Vengeful. And what's crazy about this play is that avengeful is a word. And if I had seen this word and I knew that avengeful was a word, this is basically just 100% win if I can draw an A and play avengeful. Because she's not going to play that. Unless by some crazy, crazy miracle she knows avengeful is a word. However, there are no A's. There are no A's left, so the upside to this play is simply only the fact that it brings me within 3 points of my lower rated opponent, who has 7 random tiles. Now, when you run this play in a simulation, when you run this position in a simulation, it actually believes that the play that I made of Jif is equivalent to the bingo play, despite sacrificing 41 points. And the reason for that is the unseen tiles are really bad. After Vengeful, there is pretty much like only one good tile left, the Z, and there's an S. And the Z is going to score really well. If I don't draw the Z, I'm going to be down a tempo. And yeah, it's not very easy to deal with. I draw the Q again. There's a lot of danger lurking. And so it might be better. And I say might because Like, I have no right to claim this after completely missing the bingo. It might be better to forego it and keep the vowels, because look how few vowels there are. 8 vowels, 19 consonants. Keep the vowels, and if I manage to bingo a bit later, I should be in a potentially better position to win the game. So that's why I'm calling that this is a mistake, even though simulation thinks it's even. I mean, no pun intended, even though I'm keeping even blank with my play. The other reason is I have a pretty guaranteed huge score here of 33 points next turn. Although I would be only keeping an N, and if I don't draw a vowel, I might be in trouble. But there's still a lot of life left with the letters I'd be keeping. Whereas if I play bingo, it's really just up to a lot of chance, like what I draw. Still, I think my best chance was playing the bingo. I think my best chance was playing Vengeful. And tying the game up and just trying to outmaneuver Cheryl. Because I could draw those tiles anyway. I could draw the bad tiles anyway. The only difference is I'll have a blank, and so I should be able to like maneuver my way out of the bad situations. So this is a bingo miss that potentially cost me the game. She plays Zitz for 39, which isn't the worst thing, but it's a lot of points. And I draw into this rack, which contains no playable bingos. And I'm down 83 points. But I did draw a vowel. And so I go ahead with my plan of playing V for 33, and now I need another vowel. I need to buy another vowel, and now I've gotten rid of my E's, so it's not looking great, but I'm only down 50. And there are places to play bingos, so there's still a decent chance that I'll be able to pull this out. She plays Glitz, and I have this rack, and there are no playable bingos once again. And now I'm in a bit of a bad situation because I didn't draw another vowel. There are 5 vowels left, 10 consonants left. There's still really bad stuff unseen. Q, V, W, U. And so I'm in some amount of trouble, for sure. I played OW, just hoping for one vowel. If I draw one vowel, I should be able to often bingo using the U or the I, or even down here with the 5 consonant word with the blank. And then I was wondering on this turn, she was taking a while. I was wondering what sort of play she was going to make. Would she try to block in a weird way? Would she play a few tiles off? Would she play off the Q? What was going to happen? And then she played this move, Glitzy. And when she made this move, I just wondered what she had. Because it's a fascinating move. And in the position that it put me in, I realized that it was so good for her to play only one tile in that position, timing-wise. Because now I have a bingo, but if I play that bingo, I'm drawing 5 tiles and going out next turn, never. I am like never drawing an outplay, even threatening an outplay next turn after my bingo. So what that means is if I play Invents for 69, I'll be going up by 15 points here, but never going out. And most of the time, the advantage one has in an endgame in Scrabble is around half of the average score of a turn, maybe a little bit more. Half of the average score for a turn because the person going first in an endgame will often be able to go out before the other player. So you usually have something like 20-25 point advantage by going out first. Sometimes it could be more, sometimes it could be less. And in this position, it's probably more. And the reason that it's more is because there's just one huge spot here to this S where you can score 30, 40, 50. And once that spot is taken, even if it doesn't leave Cheryl with an outplay of 3 letters, what am I doing? Like, how am I going to make up the deficit that I'm going to be at? It is not very likely. Well, no, Cloyce. I mean, the thing is, because you're playing a 7 versus 7 endgame, you're going out before your opponent an overwhelming amount of the time. So it's closer to the value of 1 turn, because you're almost always going to have 1 extra turn. But there are other factors at play. So, yeah. And this S is just such an easy spot, and oftentimes a play there, even if it's not the best play, will be good enough. And so I just tried to figure out like what sort of letters she could have, and I basically ended up hoping that she had a Q without a U and a lot of consonants, and hoped that that would be enough for me to win the game. Because if I don't bingo now, my best options are just like Vin. Like, I think Quackle, what did Quackle want? Something like, I think Quackle wanted Vino, which doesn't make any sense. But yeah, like my non-bingo plays are just horrible. Like maybe I played Jurant. But one of the first things that players learn, especially up-and-coming players like Cheryl, is whatever you do, don't empty the bag. So if I only play 2 tiles here, she's probably not going to empty the bag, and I'm going to be in a similar position as the last move. So what am I hoping to draw? These unseen letters are so clunky that this is actually like a very good rack, having 5 1-point tiles. There are only 6 1-point tiles out of 12 to choose from. So I was really unsure if I should play Vin, hope she doesn't block or can't block or whatever, and I draw something, or if I should just play the bingo and just hope for some shenanigans in the end game. And I ultimately decided to play the bingo and just hope that she would make a mistake or that I would draw really well. But I was not expecting to win at this point. So I draw QUTCK, and I recognize that I am lost. Most likely, most certainly. However, there's still possible lines where I could win the game. And one of those lines is, okay, maybe she sees that I have quick through the eye, and she tries to block it with something like Wino. If she plays Wino, and I play Tux, now she has to block QI, and she won't have enough to win the game. So hoping for some block of quick, or some weak enough play to the S that doesn't win, or some phony play, or she mistracked. There are still ways for me to win this position. But in all likelihood, when I did the calculations, it seemed like I was dead. So she played words. And when I did the math, I saw that if I play quick, I am losing by 2 points if she finds her highest scoring outplay of 9. And I knew that the scores in the game were fine, like I checked them all. And so in this position, exactly what WTF said. Yeah, please. Exactly what WTF said crossed my mind. And I might have won the game if I played Quek. I might have won the game. And the reason that this might work is because the E in advance is blank. And I've talked about this at length. Psychologically, there is a big problem with the blank tile in competitive Scrabble. Our brains don't process a blank tile properly. And in many cases, when we're trying to imagine what the blank tile is, because it's blank on the board, it doesn't have a letter like this on it, it's just blank. Our minds go to a nearby letter, basically. So our minds might think that the blank is a V or an N or a T or an I, which makes more sense that it would be an I in our minds, because the way English works is like, yeah, after two consonants comes a vowel, basically. So our brains will just like process that information in a way where it basically fills in the blank. And so if I play Quek here, and she doesn't notice that I've played through an E, and maybe she plays like in for 30, I go out. My best outplay is Jurat for 12, which she might not see. She might do the math and realize that in should win the game. I will win by 4. No, there's also Ta for 10. But yeah, the normal like outplays, the easier to find outplays with the T, will not win the game. So if she actually calculates all of this, she might just not notice that I've played Quek. But that is not what I did. I admitted defeat. I gave my opponent the benefit of the doubt and gave her a victory that she's going to remember for a very long time. Because she went out with 9 and won the game by 3 points. IP Disciple, are you doing, is that an Eric Rosen reference? Cheryl was not low on time. She had plenty of time. If she was low on time, I might have played Quek. I might have. And I did consider it. And after the game, I wanted to test my theory. And I told Cheryl, in this position, I wanted to play this, and I put Quek on the board. And she looked at it for a second, she's like, okay, Quek? And I was like, yeah, just in case you missed it. And she was like, okay. I was like, but I knew you wouldn't miss it. She was like, okay. So, who knows what would have happened? Yeah, maybe advance. Who knows what would have happened? Would have been smarter to circle the I? No, not at all. So whenever she has QI, she's probably just winning. So yeah, that's how I lost game 2. Yeah, all in all, I really just think that I should have played and seen my bingo on the GIF turn. But the unseen tiles were really ugly. Like my draws after this were, well, there's actually an S unseen. So maybe not, maybe strike that. But the Q was out, the S was out. Yeah, maybe I would have won. Probably would have won if I had played Vengeful. Hey, Humpty Trisket. But here's the thing, psychologically, you have to weigh like, okay, I lost to a 1200 player, 1100 player. That really, really sucks. But if I had lost to Cheryl in a way where I tried to like cheese her in the end game like that, and she noticed, I would be way more tilted and pissed at myself, and like my karma would be far worse. Um, like it would have been far, far worse. And if I had won, I don't know, I still would have been like tilted because that's like admitting defeat. You're admitting that you had to do something like that to win a Scrabble game, which against a 1200 player, I just don't believe that this idea of just like over exploiting them instead of like playing well is like a good one. It doesn't feel good. Like it feels good for like a second. But too easily IP Disciple? No, it used to be far worse. I mean, I'd like to think that the so a little bit of history. Early when I was streaming, like in 2021, why did Quackle want the small play? I explained it, Laser Town, but basically my leave of EENV blank is like so many levels better than the average 5-tile leave or the average letters in this pool, that it's basically like keeping S blank on a normal situation, because the value of these letters, like of an average draw of these letters, is so low in comparison that just taking a score of 24 points is quite a good result if you're leaving something like EENV blank. So it's basically like it's like a calculated equity over a long period of time where you're going to benefit from having these vowels and from having this huge play available. And it's going to make up or almost make up for the 40-point drop that you're experiencing immediately. It's just because of how bad the letters are and what plays you have available and the ability that you have to bingo for more than 65 and draw 7 random tiles out of this pool. So that's basically why. But I do think the bingo was at least practically a much better decision. So okay, in like 2021, one of my first mods, and like longtime viewers of the stream, can you stop pinning random shit? Was this guy Scott. I hope he's doing well. But Scott was always a really, really positive light. He always had really nice things to say. And one of the things he would tell me all the time is that I'm way too hard on myself and that I need to like cool it down. And look, he's right. Like, I'm very hard on myself. I hold myself to very high standards. However, there is an advantage to that. And I really do think that it has helped me get to the level I am today. And part of the reason that I switched to the Collins division is, or to playing Collins, is that it's going to allow me to just like chill out, basically. Because when I play on WL, like I want to be at the top of my game, and I often will be very hard on myself, because in my head, I should be the best player in North America. Whereas I'm not at that level in CSW, so it really just it allows me to have more fun. And yeah, it's important to have fun. It was also important to be a national champion for my overall, I guess, emotional state of mind. So maybe at this point I should really just chill the fuck out. However, there are stresses in my life, financial mainly, that are not necessarily allowing me to chill out, because I'm really, really trying to make a living off of Scrabble, and it's difficult. So yeah, it's tough because like now that I've played this tournament, I kind of feel like I should. There's part of me that feels like I should be playing NWL this summer as well, to give myself the best chance at like making some money. But that's just it's the wrong mindset, and I know it's the wrong mindset. It's not the way that I should be approaching things. But yeah, it's tough. Okay. And yes, Cloyce, thank you for reminding me why I don't play NWL anymore, why I don't want to. So this tournament, for those wondering, was in the NWL 23 Lexicon. And that's because there is no CSW division to play in, and this is such a legendary tournament that I decided to make an exception to playing CSW tournaments to play this one. Many will say that I have no backbone, that I went back on my word. Say what you'd like, hate all you like. What I did do is I demonstrated again that I am at the top of the players in North America. I have nothing to prove, and I can now go back to trying to improve and learn words and columns. That's hopefully what the conclusion of this is. Thank you, Caveman Road. 12.7 equity points ahead with a simulation, Justin? Is it a simulation or is it equity? Because equity, yeah, well, MoveGen is like pretty much the same here. Like, MoveGen says 12.69, but it's not the MoveGen I'm talking about. This is the static value of the plays. I'm talking about the actual board position, which changes things pretty drastically in this position. But I imagine Makoto is going to prefer the bingo by a little bit, but not by 12 points. I'd be very surprised, because I did simulate this game on Quackle. I already did, so I know what it said. It said that Blay was a couple points worse than Boa. It said that everything else was pretty good. Yeah, it liked pretty much everything else I did. It just said that Jif and Vengeful were close in value. That I think also F for 31 was an option on the Jif turn. But yeah, I didn't screw up massively this game. But there are things I could have done differently. And it also says that Invents was worse than... Actually, I'm curious to see what I really do want to know, Justin, if you're willing to sim this, is this position. I'm pretty sure that the Invents play is like extremely, extremely low in terms of winning percentage. And that if I played something like Vin, I probably had a better chance. But I made a practical decision, hoping she would make a mistake in the end game. But I'm pretty sure invents will like almost never win in the end game. Kondo says 0.176. Sorry, IP Disciple. Let me know, by the way, like let me know if you think that I am like taking things too seriously on stream, or if you're just saying like in general, when I just analyze my game. Let me know. 10-point penalty, nice. Oh, thanks for answering Laser Town. Yeah, I did ask earlier. Like, did I? I just had this thought to ask you guys, like, if I've done anything to hurt your feelings at all, or like, if there's anything recently you think that I should have done differently. Always trying to improve as a person. Yeah, 5 points really good. Like if you guys are struggling with words, then switching to Collins, even though there's like way more words, is a good decision because you'll be playing a way more forgiving challenge rule. Okay, let's go move on to game 3. Let's see. So game 3, I'm playing Florence Spanfelner. As somebody with a full name that is also a mouthful, I understand. Thank you for following P.I. Ratboy. So Florence, I think, also in the 1200s in terms of rating, but maybe not. Let me check. $1300s. Okay. Oh, and Cheryl was rated almost 1300 too. Okay. I was saying 1100, 1200, but she's now rated over 1300. Which makes sense. Yeah, Florence. Isn't it like food related? Florence against the machine. Oh no, it's a coin. Okay. It's either a coin or a tree. I should have known. I should have known. You guys know that clip back in the day. All right. So, Florence's first word was alien. And of course, when you see a play like this, you're just like, all right, I'm happy they didn't make the right play, basically. Like, this just can't be, it could be a decent play, but it just can't be the right play. So she played this, and as I was thinking this thought, she said, lots of good letters, eh? And I was like, yeah. So she basically recognized that it looked pretty weird. So I wonder what she actually had. And in this position, I did another thing. I shouldn't have done. I made probably the best play. Yeah, it's okay. That's what I'm saying, Muffin Tentacle. It could have been, so it couldn't have been either of those, EL or EN, based on what she played next. Oh yeah, avoidant. So I think I made the best play here. But let's look. Oh, it likes Navoid. Okay, interesting. But this is probably the best play of Vyond. And this just makes it really hard for Florence to make like any plays. This is very, very defensive. But the problem is it's an overlap, and it's a very defensive overlap. And what have we said about these plays? They can lead to problematic positions. So I played this and she held, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll get a free challenge. That'd be nice. And then she didn't challenge. And she played with this rack. I forgot to turn off the auto thing. Her only bingo of Hordians for 84 points. And when I tell you guys, I bring out the best in people. I bring out the best in my opponents. Or at least my lower rated opponents. And that's good for the game. It might not be good for my chances of beating people, but who the hell in 1300s finds this play? Like, I know like 17 and 1800s that won't see this. Like, it's great. Really nice play. And like, it took her a few minutes, but like, Jesus. Name them. I can't name you. Name them. I don't bring out the best in you. Who thinks they would have found this play in chat? Let's do a John Lee thing. Put ones in chat if you think you would have found Hordians. Yeah, Hordian is high probability. It's not about that. It's knowing the word and then seeing this fit, seeing that it works. Nice one. Everybody thinks they're better than they are, by the way, in many situations. Did you guys know? Did you guys know that 80% of drivers say that they're a better than average driver? Hey, Tiki Pebbles. Did you guys know that? Anyways, you guys think you're better Scrabble players than you are. The only person that knows if you're better than average driver is your passenger, and that's me. Sitting on the passenger side of your ride. Trying to judge your driving. You think you're the bottom 20%. Hey, pseudonym. You have a below average driver, I would not find that play nice. Rank the Scrabble players you've driven with? Maybe after a lot of donations. Maybe if I get drunk enough on a stream and we have enough hype, I will say stuff like that. So she plays this, and I'm like, I'm gonna fucking lose this game. Because now look, like, where's the rest of this board? Like, how are we getting anywhere on this board? Like, what's going on? And that's what I get for playing Vions. Like, it's gonna be so freaking difficult to do anything. And my best play here is Mohair for 42. Like, I can't really justify doing anything else. I guess I could play Oud to keep the R for Rye and maybe get some play through the H, but I'm in no like imminent danger by taking a 32 point or a 30 point deficit on turn 2 against the 1300. But things could happen in the next few moves that put me in danger. So I don't want to play Desperation Scrabble yet, but I recognize that I'm just not in the greatest of positions already. So I play Mohair for 42. And Florence plays Jot for 38. And now what's changed is that there's now this spot which is probably going to remain open unless something happens. There's this spot. You can play to this M and open the board. So there's some life in the position. And one of the things that I like was hopeful about is that the play of alien can always be extended. Alienate, alienage, alienors, alienism, alienist, aliening, alieners. Like, there's a lot of extensions to sort of breathe some life into the position and score a few points. And here I drew extremely well. So this was a very good result to to draw into an O. And the only bingo here is pointer. But I spent a while. I got protein from beyond. Nice. I spent a while looking for nines through all of these letters without any avail. So I play pointer, realizing that, okay, I've tied the game up, but I'm in a pretty unfavorable position. I'm sorry about the ads. Actually, I'll probably take a break for this ad. Yeah, I saw Equin. Okay. I'm going to take a little bit of a break. Take advantage of the ad break. Be back in 2 minutes. Okay. Oh, I'm in the wrong. No, I'm not. Never mind. So, where were we? I played pointer. And then, very lucky thing happened. Florence played a phony 4-letter word, which, of course, I challenged, and of course does happen. What sort of protein was your, Hey, Mike, on YouTube. Sorry, I hope you're still there. I haven't looked at YouTube in a while. What was your protein ad? Like, what sort of protein? So she was probably thinking of NAF and, like, TEF. And she thought it was a word, obviously. She also knew that there was a player, Joe Neff. That's a tournament Scrabble player's name. And sometimes people get confused with Scrabble players' names and play them. Like one time, national champion Michael Fagan played Donegan, Donegan, against me as an opening play, which is another Scrabble player's name. Atkins cookies, okay. So, now I got this rack, and I have to make a decision. The first question is, how likely is Florence to have another 60-point play here? Got it, Neil. Yeah, lots of Scrabble players' names are words. How likely is she to have another huge play here and play it? Pretty freaking likely, I thought. And even if she doesn't have a huge play, she probably has some play with one of the Fs. And so, I mean, she definitely has Fen for 24, which is obviously not a big deal, but she could have better. So obviously I want to play something like Jow or Jaw, but I decided to play Pawn. For all you chess fans. And basically she could have a play from the J now, and that wouldn't be that bad. That wouldn't be as bad. But I'm also setting myself up for Joe. She could also have too many consonants, so I made a decision to play Pawn. I don't really know like what to have done in that position. But she told me after the game that it really screwed her up that I did that. So she played Fen. And now I had another funny situation where I could play Joy keeping Quire, or play Quire keeping Joy. And I'm pretty sure it's this one. I think I have to take 53 points here and save Joy. Didn't see this. I saw this. I didn't see Inquire here, which is actually worth thinking about, which leaves Joe. Probably not the best play, but anyways, I think I should play off the cue first. It's too likely that she's going to block this spot, and having Inquire as a backup play is okay, but it's not great. I guess if I draw an E, I get Requiem, but she might even block that. But if she blocks, I might even get a bingo. It's actually interesting. I could get like Pratique, I could get Periques, I could get what? Huh. It's interesting. I knew it was interesting in the game, but maybe not, didn't think it was that interesting. Pathétique. So here she played Fling instead of Flung, which I didn't even notice at the time. But I'm glad that she missed Flung, of course. And here I played Jow, keeping Bohos potentially for next turn, which is just a nice score. If I noticed, I would tilt. No, if Strategy noticed, he would tilt. No, I don't tilt at that anymore. I notice it, and I feel a certain way about it, depending on the position. But likes 3 fishing plays a lot more or a little more? Because Quackle likes a few a little more. But yeah, I'm not surprised. Obviously, a simulation isn't super good in that situation because it doesn't assume the opponent will be trying to block you. But it's playing like a 1300 player, it should be pretty useful. One of them leaves a 53% win. Wow. Which one is that? Just does it keep the V? No, probably couldn't. I didn't see inevitably in this spot. Yeah, super curious. Justin, you're in the Wiggles Discord, right? Is this the command? Does that link work? I don't even know if that link works. I think I fixed it. No, it's Scrabble related, Cloyce. It's Scrabble related. It's not Scrabble, it's Scrabble related. So I played Bohos. And she exchanged 5. Oh. So, going back to this Bohos play, after she played Quate, of course, you have to think about the extensions. Oh, 28% seems like a lot to me. That's a lot. I hope that that's true. If that's true, then I'm totally okay with having played it. 28% sounds like a ton. Yeah, I don't know. But I feel like Macondo, it empties the bag, so I feel like Macondo... Oh no, it doesn't do 5 in the bag yet. So you can't really trust it. Shoot. Can't really trust it. You have to use Francis Desjardins one, maybe. Actually, is Cesar here? Is he awake? Let me message Cesar. Active 2 hours ago. He probably isn't there. Or maybe he's like working out. Anyways, the extensions for Quate. Adequate. I wrote down adequate, coequate, and torquate. Let's fucking go. Because it comes up enough that you should be aware of these extensions. So I noticed that I was 1 letter off of adequate, which was an adequate reason to play Boho. She exchanges 5. And I drew into adequate, but I don't have my leave. That's annoying. I might have missed a bingo. Probably not. I probably had something like this. She plays Zai. Yeah, protect the community. And here I could just play Oi and try and bingo from this P, which has just been sitting there ever since I played Pawn. The problem is blank blank are out. So I've made the assessment of this position that if I controlled the board for the rest of the game, that Florence would not be able to bingo. And that should lead to me winning the games by more points on average. But that might not be a correct assessment. I might just be better off being aggressive. Anyway, this certainly wins more often than Oi for 23, but I kind of wanted to win by a lot because I had already lost a game and only had won my first game by a little bit, and my opponents were only going to get harder. I started with the lowest rated opponent in my group and was going up the ladder. Yeah, she could play a 9 for sure. I wouldn't mind that. It's like a much better result, Cloyce. Like if I play Oi here and she plays from the P and gives me 5 floaters, but you can only start with those letters. It's a much better result than if she plays from the IN, gives me 5 floaters where you can play through them and scores less points. So I play Oi for 17. I shed a tear for the 6 points I gave up. Don't worry. Then Florence played Vina. And a lot of the time, I should bingo with AEILS. Oh, I didn't have an S. Oops. AEILT was my lead. Yeah, that changes things a little bit. Austin. Rating with the party. Man. 3? Why aren't you guys watching Austin? What were you doing that was... Were you playing the bot again, Austin? Is that... It was higher. Okay, it was just a failed raid. I don't know, maybe playing the bot is not the call. Yeah, welcome in, Raiders. Welcome in, Austin. Huge shout out to Austin, who is very very responsible and regular Scrabble streamer, as opposed to me. And I noticed that Austin is going to 3. He's doing the Summer of Scrabble. You beat HastyBot 10-4. Let's fucking go. Yeah, sorry, Austin. I should know it was Tuesday. I was probably, I don't know. I wanted to stream. I didn't mean to interfere. Someone told me like an hour ago that you were live. I was like, ah, shit, it's true. Hey, Heidi should have rated you then if we were both streaming. She probably rated me because I was in her stream earlier. But yeah, I guess because I don't stream as regularly as Austin, people can count on you. They'll just like, I'll just be back next Tuesday. Whereas me, it's like, when am I gonna be fucking back? Who knows? So yeah, Austin's doing the Summer Scrabble. He's going to Albany, he's going to South Bend, and he's going to the Word Cup, which is really, really awesome because he's a busy man. He has a job, he has a family, he has a grind or multiple grinds. So yeah, go follow Austin. Go follow his YouTube channel. Feel free to link your YouTube channel, Austin, in the chat. I don't have a command for it yet. Going with Lindsay and Leia. Nice. Cool. Look forward to hopefully seeing you there. I should be able to make it to Albany. Hopefully the African players. I was talking about that earlier. Hopefully the African players make it to Albany and make it really cool. So I was just discussing this position where I had the wrong leave. These are my games from Swillens. The tournament I just played in this past weekend. I'm at game 3 of 18 right now. It seems like a daunting task ahead of me, but You get there. You got a rack of Jagera, you would not be happy. That's a decent rack. It's pretty balanced. Yeah, there's this Sierra Leonean. Sierra Leonean sounds right to me. So I was discussing this position where I sacrificed 6 points just to sort of pad in the win, like don't want our bingo from the P with one of the blanks and draw a blank or whatever. But also I felt like I would win by more on average because it's such a hard board to work with if no one bingos from the P. So I played that. Florence played Vina. And I decided to try and draw a blank here. It's Leonian, yeah. I thought. She's improved a lot, hoping to cause some trouble. Yeah, that'd be awesome. So here I decided to play Kittel, and pay attention to this word. Because this word does not take an S. It's like a pet. This is sort of the sort of word that people will call like a pet word, or maybe I'll call it that. Maybe I'll coin the term. This is like a word that you like, that you have in your back pocket that you just like flash at times and could lead your opponent into error, especially in double challenge, because it does not take an S in NWL. And there are lots of words like this in columns too that don't take an S that are like sixes. But with double challenge, not only if someone doesn't know this word, they might just challenge it like to begin with, but it also does not look like it wouldn't take an S. And so if your opponent hooks an S onto it, you're getting a free challenge. And like that'll probably happen a lot in this position because the S hook is on a double word score. So if she chooses not to challenge this word and treats it as a word, she's probably going to be willing to put an S on it. It's sort of like a trick, little pet word. That's what it is. That's what the definition is at Draco. Disturb Josh with fresh hooks. Yeah, there's so many hooks. I knew this took an S in columns already. Like it's come up before. So I make this play trying to go for a blank and trying to be a bit defensive. I could play Kilt, but it's not as bingo defensive and also allows high scoring plays from the K. That open the board. So I play that, and then, I mean, Florence does play to the triple. So she's opened the board nicely. And I drew this rack. Oh yeah? What did I don't remember what my reaction to that was, Neil. That's funny. Kiteleum not good. Oh, loan. Yeah, there's been a lot of those, obviously. I saw egg beans. I considered playing egg beans. WTF, you'll be happy to know that I considered playing this as a phony. I just kept repeating it out loud. Okay. Whatever works, you know? So here I could try and be defensive and play like B. But it's actually kind of difficult to like do anything reasonable here and there. I don't want to keep 2 Gs. And so I basically like decided, well, you opened the board, congrats. You're actually going to narrow the gap a lot of the time here. Yeah, my opponents just knew what to do, like, and we're making good plays. But I decided to play Alienage and try to bingo myself. That was my hope here. Hey, awesome, Justin. glad that you made it. I'm glad that you had a good time. I enjoyed your presence, so I hope to see you on another stream at some point. Good night. If this were a chess stream, I would say good bishop. Yeah, grooves and shit. So, I play Alienage, and then she can't find a bingo, and she plays Rue for 3. And I had this rack and couldn't find a bingo, so I played Gob. So I drew a blank on the 3-tile draw, which was very nice. And now I'm like very likely to be able to bingo in one of these spots on the board. I play Gob. And Florence drew the Z and played Biz. And now there's 2 in the bag. And I drew this rack. I really need to get it off auto, but I was going to say there's 1 bingo in this position. And it's Sycamine. And this is a great bingo because not only does it block super well, like it does a really good job to block the easier part of the board to play bingo in. Scores 90 points, and it also might get a challenge because it's 90 points and it's a weird looking word. And that's exactly what happens. Lawrence challenges. And I draw this rack in the endgame. And my highest scoring endgame play is for 21 points. Hey, chat. But WTF says do Kittels. Do you guys think that it's a good idea to put an S on this word I know doesn't take an S as an outplay in a challenge rule where you don't lose anything if you challenge the final play? It is a free challenge no matter what. Unless the only time it's not a free challenge is if it's a play that, if accepted, gives you the game, versus if challenged, wins the opponent the game, potentially. That's the only time it's not a free challenge. So your opponent has to be making a huge mistake, like missing an out bingo or something. Then you want to maybe accept their phony outplay. Oh, but that doesn't make sense. It wouldn't be missing an out bingo. They'd be missing a better outplay. Yeah, they'd have to be missing a much, much better outplay. And you would just accept it. So, with all that in mind, does it change anything if your opponent has just challenged a word of yours after not challenging you the whole game, after you played a bunch of weird words, and they just lost a challenge to you? Does it change anything? And I'd say yes. I'd say it changed enough for me to make this play of SI for 5 more points. 5 more points than my next best play. And if you do the math, what does that mean? My confidence level of this working has to be for it to be worth playing for 5 more points. What's 5 and 26? A bit less than 20%. Sorry, a bit more than 20%. So I'm gaining 21% by playing SI. Now, that means I have to be more than 80% or close to 80% confident that I'm going to get away with a phony outplay to play this. And that's how confident I was. And she showed me her tiles, and I won the game 586 to 294. But, as I explained to you guys on the last game, this doesn't feel great. Like, I could boast about it and be like, oh, I got away with a phony outplay. But in the end, it's just like, it's dirty. Like, it's really dirty. And it sort of feels like I can't be like friendly with this person anymore. It feels like I like tainted our relationship. I'd never even met Florence before. She's a really nice person. But you know, it's a tournament, anything goes, but like I feel like even mentioning it after the game or at any point in the tournament would have been a faux pas, and that it's just better off that she never realizes that I did this. It's just like, you know, it's a social game, you know. How is this like dating somebody? No, I don't really have an analogy to give you with that. Once I accidentally got away with L-Jaws as an outplay. It's probably a little less nice now. What's up, Mo Allen? How's it going, man? But I have so many more things to show you guys. I'll show at least one more game. Probably just one more. One, two. Unless you guys really, 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 really want me to continue. Because in 3 games, something hilarious happens. Actually, in 2 games, something hilarious happens too. All right, see you, Neil. All right, let's go. So yeah, I don't need to analyze that game really. I guess I'd be curious to see if Beyond is the correct play. If it's not, I'm an idiot. Like, sounds good, IP Disciple. All right. I'll run a sim in the background. It doesn't take up too much space. Oh, look at Vin. I don't need to look at Vin, Cloyce. Is that what Justin was talking about? How it's like, that's the best fish? I mean, oh, it's been through the Iron Readiest. Oh. So there's... Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, leave the eye of Unifier open as a potential spot to bingo. Yeah, I consider that play. But yeah, it's basically just like a calculation. The problem is if I leave the Q in the bag, I get Q stuck after my bingo. Not necessarily. Maybe I can float an eye out in space and set up a second spot. Anyways, yeah, I've definitely considered that, but I mean, I was drawing into QUCKV in the end, right? So, like, unless I drew QU, if I drew QU, what would have happened? Anyways, I'm looking at the position, but not even showing you guys, so I'll stop. Like, I'm looking at the position in my head. Okay, I'm playing Mike Stevens, another player I've never played before. His rating was, I think, like 1500. But he played, again, like, he played really well. Where was he? Okay, he was rated 1538, but he played really well in our game. Yeah, squint blank as, like, I get a squint and TA. Oh, I have, like, this is game 4 of 18, but tonight I think I'm only doing 1 or 2 or maybe 3 more. So Mike exchange 3 to start. And I did a funny thing here. And I did a thing I should have done in the earlier game. Wow, what is... Look how red that is. Whatever. Irritated neck. H7. Huh? Oh, you're saying that right now. Yeah, normal play is just QI, but I decided to exchange QN here after this short exchange 3. What do you guys think of that? Minus 22 points. What Nigel would have done. I meant to notate the bomb cloud. And Mike did something weird here. He played Sutane or Sutan, doubling the blank for only 62 points. Hey, thanks, React. But I guess he liked the positioning of it, where he's not giving back. He's not putting vowels next to double letters. Don't WTF? Don't reveal the data. I'm gonna make a video about the data in like 20 months. So yeah, I drew EE. I play enemies. Kind of standard. I don't want to open this triple for 1 fewer point. And Mike plays weave. And I draw 2 S's, but a lot of consonants. And I could play a little bit longer. I decided to just play fids and leave all these floaters to exist and help me potentially bingo next turn. But there is some danger with these spots now open. I can't really do anything about it. So that was the part of the position I was not really happy about. But yeah, here Mike finds the only bingo of neaters. And I get saved by the A floater. And I play gourmands, which this is a word, gourmand and gourmands. Like, I have so much trouble seeing this word when it comes up on Aerolith. And it took me like a minute and a half, I think, over the board to see it. But I was like, oh, there's a word in here, there's a word in here, there's a word in here, there's a word in here. And all I could see was Mangored. I'm like, and I wrote it down on my score sheet. Mangored is Collins only. Because I saw Mangored, I'm like, that's not a word in NWL, but maybe it's a word in Collins. But that's just because when I see this rack, that's the thing that I come up with before I find gourmands, if at all. But I finally found the play, which again, it proves to you guys that even though I have terrible scores on Aerolith for my level, and I miss all these words, that I can find them over the board with a little bit of time. Yeah, Mike's ahead 10 points. He scores 33 with hook. And I draw a fantastic rack of AFIQUYZ. Yeah, hook extensions. So I saw hookiest and hooklets. But yeah, hookworm. Didn't see. It's probably hook-like and like no hook shot. Sad. Thank you, Humpty Chusket. Much appreciated. I'll catch you some other time. Hook nose, yeah. But you know, like Matt, on this board, there's some high scoring spots to begin with. The hook extensions are not really that important. They are, I think. And they might come up. But more likely than not, it'll get blocked naturally. So in this position, I was ready to play Quakey through the K or Zinky through the N. Then he made this play, and I'm like, oh man, well, probably have a good play here. And I start looking for plays. I'm just like, all right, I guess I have Qua for 41. That's not great. If I draw an R, I get Frizz for 1,000,000. Like, is that really it? And I'm like, oh, wow, I just played this word. So I played a casual game where I was staying in Rio Rancho, where I played the word Yankee. Or Yankee, obviously, how you're supposed to pronounce it. And that's always been a word that I've wanted to play that I think I played at some point streaming, but I never played over the board maybe. But I probably have played it over the board at this point. It was one of the words I always wanted to play. I'm like, ah, yes, I can play it. And I start putting this on the board, and I'm like, wait, what the fuck am I doing? Making OA. So I'd only put the Y on the board. Yeah, it's where you stay at WTF. You stay there together. So I started putting the Y on the board, and I realized what the hell I'm doing. I'm like, okay, what is wrong with me? And so I started just like getting distracted and like, what am I like? Am I playing terribly? What's going on? Like, what can I play here? And I finally spot by far the best play of Queasy. Yeah, you could play FE to set up Yankee. How much is that? 1456. Hey, not bad. Hey, Best Blender. Yeah, it's a nice board so far. So I play Queasy, and every time I play a word like ending in ZY that's also valid with SY, I'm just like, am I making this up? Like, Neil would know, but Neil's gone, Ealing. It's here earlier. I played Drowsy against him with a Z. Pretty much.
Mr. Anderson, welcome back. We missed you.
Okay.
You like what I've done with the place?
It's over, motherfucker.
Thank you. We already did that earlier, but always appreciate it. That's a lot of channel points you got there. Such epic music. Yeah, he doesn't. He used to have such a potty mouth when he streamed, like, because he would get super tilted playing Hasty Bot. Other than that, he doesn't really curse when doing Scrabble stuff or streaming. But whenever he played Hasty Bot, he would get like super. Hasty Bot was his like rival, which is kind of sad. It's a fucking computer. Just find a real person to be a rival with. But yeah, he always had the most hilarious outbursts against Hasty Bot. He's actually an evil person. No, he's the one. What are you fucking talking about? Okay. Back to the game. Mike plays XI. Zo, Zu. Yeah, Xi. And I dropped poorly. But I might have missed a play here. I was not happy with the play I made. So now I have 2 R's for Weaver. This hook has stayed there. This has stayed there. I'm like, what is going on? Like, why are these things still open? I guess this is what happens on open boards. And I don't have anything that I see that plays here. Like, I could play Riff. Big whoop. But I decided to play Shiur for 16. Oh, Jacquard. Yeah, that was totally insane. Yeah. For those unaware of all of the Will lore, there's a lot of it. A lot of people just saw his cloak thing for the first time. That was such a great video about the definitions. He's been telling me he's wanted us to make that video for a long time. And it was very well made. I don't have Bitwall. See, I played Shiur trying to draw a better play with Weaver and block the S. Not really sure if it's right. Not really sure. Fuck. Sorry. That was so bad. Oh, I misannotated this play. He played Myers for 13. And that worked out well. I drew into a Frappe for 60. Taking a nice lead, but Mike had a response of Outlier for 72. So now I'm down 18. And I made my first play that I knew was a mistake in the tournament. I had this rack, and I just could not find, for the life of me, I couldn't find a play. Nice. IP Disciple. The whole video is just for the... Yeah, he wanted to show that moment. Even though it's been on YouTube, under Twitch Clips, the best... Or Scrabble Clips, the best channel on YouTube. Best Scrabble channel on YouTube. It's been there for a while. Anyways, what was I saying? So I just could not find a play here at all. I just couldn't find anything. I hated everything that I saw. And I was like, okay, what am I going to do? Going to play like Avo here to take away this spot? Like, I just felt like my position was horrible. And then I saw this play of COVID. And hello to Binac. Did I say hi to Binac earlier? I'm glad you're here for this very rare moment where I get to analyze the NWL dictionary. So I saw this play and I'm like, okay, this isn't terrible. AWY is like workable. Should be able to score something next turn. I have like Wary. I might draw something here. But I'm like, when I saw this play, I was like, okay, I'm going to have to look for a better play. I need to find a better play than this. I'm sure there's a better play than this. I can't settle for this. And I just keep looking. My time is just dwindling. Like, I mean, I'm not like super low on time, but I'm lower than I should be. And I finally ultimately play COVID. Because yeah, it's a new word. Scores 19 points. It's might block some stuff and it keeps something workable. But I was just like, this is bad. And I totally just missed until I hit my clock this play here of Viewy, which is just obvious in hindsight. And I don't know if I missed anything else. No, I didn't miss anything else. But yeah, like, this is far and away the best play. It's just a huge mistake, and I just rarely miss moves like this. It's just kind of a weird spot, but I shouldn't have missed this. And it took a really long time, and I knew there was like I felt like there was something in the position. There was no buzzing going on. There was just my brain, okay? And I just couldn't find it. I just couldn't find this play of view. It's just so obvious. So it's a huge mistake. And it's sort of a testament to like it's sort of a testament to, I guess, my strengths as a player, that this is like absolutely mind-bogglingly bad for me. Like I don't miss things like this. Like I really just don't. Especially after taking a long time. But yeah, I mean, happens. And this is what I get for like studying the new NWL words, looking over them. So I saw like after I hit my clock what I'd missed. I'm like, what the fuck? Like totally probably started tilting IP Disciple. I was a little tilted, but I'm like, okay, whatever, just play. But I was pretty sad. Because I'm in a pretty bad position here. I'm down 26. There's some good tiles in the scene. I don't have them. I have these letters. So I played Cabby, hoping I can just consolidate at some point. And maybe sneak a win in this game. Here Mike played. Where did he play? Where the hell did he play? Oh, yeah. Trying to play. No, it wasn't that. I mean, but I knew him like, oh, I see a new word. Great. Let's not get distracted by it. I just kept looking. I just couldn't find anything. So Mike plays Tau for 14. Finally taking away all the extensions and all that stuff so much later than they should have been taken out. And here is the pivotal position of the game. Yeah, this is a really bad position. There's 7 in the bag. There's nothing reasonable I can do that leaves like 2 or 3 in the bag. Or yeah, it should be 2 in the bag. I can't make like good 5-tile plays. The only thing I could see was Gardai. And that just loses. Like, he's going to be able to score something. I have a W. Oh, that would be nice. Oh, thanks, 5Crab. Welcome. I just couldn't find a good play here. I considered dropping the W for the E draw for Agitated. The problem is most reasonable plays that he has in this position are going to just block Agitated. So I didn't think this was a good path to take. But I would have to take it if I couldn't find anything great here. And I ended up settling on a very weird play. Sort of on a whim. And in a sort of desire to complicate things as much as possible. And I ended up playing Wig for 21. And this play looks really bad on the surface. It plays only 2 tiles, leaves me with duplicate A's. And just like doesn't score that much. It doesn't seem to block much. But I'm actually blocking a fair number of bingos down the O column that won't play with jilts or elsewhere. And so if I can manage to block a play that he was going to make, I could potentially like eke out a win here. But I was not feeling confident at all. I don't know. Let's see what the options are. Yeah, these plays are just like very uninspiring. All of these. So I decided to accomplish something by playing Wig. I can draw into some bingos, I imagine. I didn't really iterate. But I was running really low on time. I just didn't know what to do. I really figured that this was maybe my best shot. I considered playing something like Awa or like something like that. But yeah, I played Wig, and what ended up happening is I got really lucky because his rack, I believe, was was it this? Yeah. This was his full rack here. And he had legions ready to go. Which is actually fine. Like, if I were to have fished instead, I'm okay with him playing a bingo here floating an S so that I can bingo out to this S. The problem is I didn't really, like, have any good fishes. And does he have another bingo here? No. So I just totally, like, ruined his day and complicated the position. Goblinist. And he just happens to not have anything great here. Probably best is something like Soling. Leaving himself with 6 to my 7, however, taking over 20-point lead, which we were talking about, tends to be close to enough in end games, decent amount of the time, especially with situations where there isn't much scoring to be had at the unseen tile. Anyways, oh, this is actually maybe even better. But yeah, the position isn't actually great for him. Hey, what's up, PB's Love? He ended up playing Sling, which is a similar idea, but fully empties the bag, leaves him with 7, scores a little bit less, but doesn't open the triple. And this is exactly the sort of scenario I was hoping for, where it's a close end game and maybe I'll be able to eke it out. The problem was, from my perspective, there was a pretty high likelihood he was going to have a play from the X, like Xenon or Xenia or something, when I was playing Wig. So I just did not have much hope at all in the position. And I also needed to draw something good here. And I did. I drew EC, which was a very good draw, for one specific reason. And that reason was this play of Dictate. Zing seems fine, yeah. Something like that looks pretty good. Yeah, who knows, WTF. So, obviously, I was ready to play Dictate even before he played Sling. And then I saw he gave me, like, 8 more points for it. I was like, okay, well, if I'm going to win this endgame, this is probably the play, but obviously I kept looking for potentially better endgames or for potential things that I needed to block. And good thing he played off his N because he has no Xenon. Good thing I drew the A, because then he can't have Xenia. So, like, everything went well. Good thing I drew the C because of Xenic. So, basically, CA might have been, like, the best possible draw for me. And I played Dictate, and the best he has is, okay, 22. He just can't win here. And, yeah, obviously, he made mistakes, and that is why, I was able to win this game. So, yeah, it was a tough one. But I came away with the win. And got kind of lucky after Wig. Yes, 5 in the bag isn't really that simple in this position. But yeah, he could also just fish. Like, after the game we talked about maybe him playing like OR or something. Or maybe playing off the L, I don't remember. OY. There's a decent amount of, like, he hits so often after, like, OI. He hits Goy is a word. It's like sleeting. He hits leasing. Settling. Wow, this is actually like crazy good. And he's probably not getting outrun either. Anyways. Yeah, I told him after the game that probably some fish was good, but it was kind of dubious. And I won by 22. So that was a really lucky break for me. So yeah, should I do another one? You guys want another? Getting pretty damn tired. But I think I should provide you all, my viewers, with one last game. And this game, if those of you that were not following my Facebook/Instagram stories, oh wait. Well, no. Oh, there's an ad. Oh, damn. Okay. Villains. Most of you are off the ads now, I hope. But if you don't want ads, you know what to do. Oh boy. Ads know where you are? God damn it, dude. Yeah, I hate that. Okay. So I'm playing Jeremy Conman, who hasn't played a tournament in 10 years. He's a big trivia guy, loves sports. Fun guy. Aww.
Supportive piano bit.
I see what you did there. I see what you did there, Sarah. Thank you so much. That was Stronger Than Me by Amy Winehouse. Or part of it. Okay. So yeah, he's a funny guy. It's fun hanging out. So, this was my opening rec. Now, those of you who want to know what it's all about, it's like this. or those, no, whatever. Those of you who might be familiar with some of the quotes that exist that are mine about Scrabble. One of said quotes, I was playing, or I was studying all of the 7 and 8 letter words for, I guess it was like end of 2021 or something, prior to match play. And so I just went on this binge of studying all the 7s and 8s. And when the rack AEGL and SU came up, I typed in Long's Lagoons. I'm like, oh yeah, there's a third one. I couldn't find it. After like 10, 15 seconds, I just moved on to the next word and didn't get back to the word. And so at the end of the quiz that I was doing, follow the anagrams, we went back and we saw what I had missed, and I had missed the word Angelus, or Angelus. And when this occurred, I said, this word, I don't remember exactly what I said. I said, this word basically doesn't exist. That's what I said. So this word Angelus might as well not even be a word, because it is so unplayable, it's so unlikely to ever be played, and it's so hard to see. And it's so high probability. And I was like, I'm sure this word has never been played before. Now, I made this claim, and other Josh, I think I have a command for, who doesn't stream anymore, looked through the database to find every instance that Angelus was played. And he found 3 instances where a human being played the word Angelus. So he basically took down my claim to fame. And it was kind of sad. I was like, wow, this word maybe does exist. And all I was doing was trying to hide the fact that I couldn't anagram this word. And I was just deflecting. I was just projecting, deflecting. But also, I believe what I said. This word is ridiculous. No one's ever going to play this word. The other 2 anagrams are way more likely to be played and be playable. And I stand by that. Angelus is way less playable than its 2 counterparts. But in this position, I was like, well, let's make it right. And I played Angelus, for lack of a better find. And this does good things. Doesn't float a dangerous letter in the double-double lane. Doesn't float the S in a dangerous spot. Doesn't float a dangerous letter in the triple lane here. Doesn't take an S. And for the most part, it's defensive. It puts most vowels next to non-double letter scores, which is an important part of an opening play. But the one thing it does is put this A here. And this isn't like good, but it's not bad. If you put a vowel here protected by a couple of consonants that are kind of hard to overlap, it's not that big of a deal, because most of the plays that will be playable using this vowel will open up triple or open up a dangerous spot. So in terms of like defense, it's not that bad. But it's Angelus. I had to fucking play it. So that's why I played. And I told Jeremy about the story, whatever. I told a bunch of people about the story. And it was really funny. It was like, well, guess I gotta play this. And welcome to They Call Me Evan. What skill level would I advise a player to reach before looking into participating in local Scrabble tournaments? I always recommend people, if there's a club near you, to play in club before you play in tournaments. Club is sort of bridging the gap between casual and competitive Scrabble. If you don't have a club near you, you can play in a club on Woogles, and that might give you a little bit of an idea of how competitive games are played in a casual setting. There are lots of clubs on Woogles to choose from. You can just go to woogles.io/clubs or something and find a club that, even if it's not in your area, you can participate in probably any of them, pretty much. So I advise people try that as well before playing in a tournament. And in terms of skill level, I guess I think it's important to know your 2 and 3 letter words. That I think would be the minimum. I mean, 3s isn't like that important. If you know the 3s like pretty well, that's good. But you definitely should know the 2 letter words, and you should also familiarize yourself with the rule set before playing in a tournament, because there are a lot of things that are different from your run-of-the-mill Scrabble, kitchen table Scrabble, etc. And it's intimidating. It's very, very intimidating when you're trying it out for the first time. That's what I'd say. I'm not a proponent of like overstudying or studying to begin with, so I think other people would probably say, oh, you should. There are some people that are like, oh, you should learn this amount of 7-letter words, this amount of 8-letter words, blah, blah, blah. But in terms of skill level, I don't really have a number since online ratings are not very accurate. Oh, yeah, thank you. I think hey, Mr. Someone. I think I have. No, that's not. I have a command that has all of this info. I think it's a timer though. It requires more chatter than I'm getting. I should make it more. Yeah, I should make it appear more often, I think. Yeah, I have a bunch of links for clubs and stuff. But thank you, Five Crap. Okay. Thank you, Sissy. So I play Angelus, he plays Reboards. Awesome, great. Well, let me know if there's anything else I can do to help you out. All right, in this position I could play Sizier, keeping UY, which is actually a lot more palatable than IISU, but I decided to play Yes anyway, and this might be a mistake. Does leave the very big triple open, and IISU, I might not be scoring much at all next turn. But I figured with opening a second triple, shouldn't be that problematic, and I can actually draw into a decent number of things that'll help me out. But yeah, seeing the equity here is pretty interesting, because I did recognize that like the equity might be similar, but I might have put too much emphasis on keeping an S on a board where an S isn't that big of a deal. So this actually might be a pretty big mistake. Jeremy played Drake. And I drew the J. I drew a second S. But I missed. No. Missed a new word. Yeah, that one's so tough. I've actually played it before. Yeah, it's not, is it? I played it before. I played it at club like 2 months ago. Well, I played the singular version. Anyway, this is probably close, but I did miss it. Then Jeremy played PE, Hebrew letter. And I quickly played Kubi. And when I played Jays, I thought about extensions. And as Jeremy is a big sports fan, baseball fan, I very quickly recognized it'd be really fun to play Blue Jays. Oh, so you've been here that long? They call me Evan. Yeah, that is very ironic. That's hilarious. If you're just joining after the reference, opponent number 3 played Neff, Neff for me, for 0 against me in a previous game, and she cited Joe Neff as person that might have convinced her that his name was valid. So Blue Jays. So I didn't think I was gonna get close to it, but here I am with BUE. Like just one letter off, and there are 3 L's in C. And so if there's some way of just like getting rid of EIIS for a lot of points, it would be nice. But he did just block NISEI, which I did think about playing, because the likelihood of drawing an L is like maybe 1 in 3 or something after a 4-tile play. Is what I estimated. So 63 points. It's pretty nice. Thank you for following. But it's not worth going for, I felt. So I just played QB pretty quickly, and I'm like, well, if I draw an L, I draw an L. I also didn't quite want to the old Josh Fishes for Blue Jays. Thank you for following him as well. Oh, I've been simming for, oh my god. Okay. The play of Beyond from round 3 is second best in a sim, and it's close to a lot of other plays, so I shouldn't have made it. Alright. Damn. Those over here earlier are aware what I'm talking about. Should start simming this as well. I was wondering why things seemed a bit laggy. Wow. Then the other position where I played Choir from 53 thinks I made a big mistake. Okay. Cool. That was a cool position. Oh, I'm sorry, Binak. Yeah, how is Japan? Or how is Japan? Has it been laggy for you guys? I hope not. So I don't quite want to play this because Obe's a double-double, and he took a really long time and then played PE. So either I feel like he's close to bingo, couldn't find one, or his letters are really bad and he had like only 1 vowel or something. But I was like, you know, no fear. Let's just do it. Played QB, and he exchanged 7. So yeah. That worked out well. Yeah, he told me he just had really bad letters. You probably should exchange, but you know, 26 points was a lot. And I draw 2 L's, and I was just like, well, that's annoying, but at least I get to bingo. I played rollies for 82 on the double-double I just made. So obviously doing really well now, almost doubling Jeremy's score, but I felt bad for not fishing for Blue Jays. Oh, that's cool, 5 grand. He then played M. Did he play that here? I guess he did, didn't he? No. He did not. He played it down here. leaving the E and the S open. And I draw the Q with the U. And I play query. Standard stuff. He plays larva. And I draw into a bingo, which I consider not playing. I'm up 113, and the only bingo I saw, the only bingo there is Toadied for 71, which opens a triple. So my winning chances might be similar if I decide not to bingo in this position and not open a triple. But I open a triple. And then Jeremy plays Winch. And this is where I decided to make one of the cutest, stupidest plays I made in the entire tournament. Maybe the stupidest. But it was funny. In this position, again, the only threat that exists is a triple. It's very unlikely. It's a D in third position. That's not very good. There is a blank out, but there aren't any S's. There aren't that many bingo tiles. So, you know, it's a very, very small risk, but a risk nonetheless. And so it'd be nice to block it. I just don't have any great plays to do that I saw. But I might have missed one. No. Yeah. Potentially the best thing I saw to block was like dipped for 10. Which is just such a sad play. I've lost my voice. Wow. I'm talking a lot. It's just such a sad play. I'm like, you know, this is ridiculous. If I'm going to block this triple, I better make something of it. Or I should just play Tome. So I played Ditto. Ditto for 7. What do you guys this play? Holding the final S. Yeah, exactly. 5 crab. Thoughts on Ditto? Oh man, 5 crab suggesting it, I don't know. It's probably a bad place. Get out of here, Raventello. You think this looks correct? Get the fuck out of here. Don't at me. Don't be adding me, bro. Daily Pokemon reference. So now the biggest threat is he bingos with an 8 from the A using the blank as an S. I will put an S on it if he lets me. Plus 50 for playing Pokemon, true. So I'm threatening with like pretty much any vowel draw. I'm threatening, you know, he doesn't know what I'm threatening, but it's around 50 plus points with Dittos. And if he wants to block it and it doesn't have like a bingo, he either has to semi-block it or have a specific letter play, or play from the A, or use up his blank, which is a great scenario. But he had a good way to semi-block here and play it out for 21. And forcing your opponent to play this sort of defense when they're behind by like 150 points is very good. So I was happy with this scenario. I did draw pretty poorly. Only constants, which is something that could have easily happened, keeping 3 constants. And I exchanged keeping ST. Seems fine. Then he puts down NONE and takes the N off and plays 1. I'm just like, okay, game's been over for a while. Let's just try and win by a lot. And I drew the X and just got the 50-point play with a really great lead, which is very nice. And he continues with Fig, I think. Yeah. And then I play fantasy as a bingo, which is just a Fantasia. Okay. Oh yeah, fantasy impromptu. How does that go? John Lee plays that one. I don't remember how it goes. Oh yeah, that's right, WTF. I tried to play it once. It's the one that has really weird rhythm. Anyways. Jerry turned into a cow for a move, played moo. And I turned into a cat. And played Mew. So this position is 4 in the bag. The bingo threats are up top and to this D mainly, or pretty much exclusively. And if he doesn't have the A, it's really hard for him to bingo up top. Even if he has the A, he might not have anything up there. And I can't block both spots at once. So maybe I shouldn't block any spot. Gem would leave this open. And pretty sure spear is good. Pretty sure. Maybe it isn't. Why isn't the bot working very well? But yeah, this doesn't block really. It blocks stuff being in A, but yeah, I decided to play Mew. I could play Mule as well, empty the bag. If he bingos, I'm losing a lot of spread. I decided to just leave one in the bag and hope he doesn't have anything with like a blank L or S in 5th position, or something with 8. And he didn't. As far as I know, he played QI. And saw what he had and didn't see any bingos that he could have, so I ended up playing the only out and 2 I saw that was like guaranteed, which was Gerd, saving Clavi and Clave. He played Zapping, which made me think that maybe my best play blocked Zapping. Oh, and he wow, that's a really cool out, not actually outplay that he had of BB when I'd already emptied the bag. Okay, or went out. So I won 549 to 362. Great. It was a pretty clean game. I do want to see if Yez was a bad play. And then I'll probably let you guys go. I guess I could do a sort of like last call. Really want me to stay, but I think I'm gonna call it a night. It would be good to get 6 out of 18 done tonight, but it is 3:31. Du poil. I don't have peppers. And there were only like jalapenos on special today when I went to the store, which is not hot enough. Okay, so yeah, like Yez was a terrible play. Wow. Yeah, what a stupid play. Very bad judgment call. Very, very bad decision. Cockle says over 10-point mistake. I don't really make those, but I guess I do. All right, guys. Thanks for being here. Fun stream. Guess John is probably live. Let's raid him. See hopeful meta. Anyone on YouTube talk to? Chris Chang. Yes, Chris finds it. Chris finds Angelus. So yeah, still 13 games to look at. That'll be fun. And yeah, enjoy John